Welcome to Philly Fight World, where the fists fly, stories matter, and the heart of boxing beats louder than ever. We're not just another podcast. Nah, we're building a movement. Our mission? To be one of the best boxing podcasts in America, not by chasing clout, but by celebrating the real ones. We bring fans and fighters together, shining light on the journey, from the underground gyms to the world title stage. Whether it's a rising prospect or a seasoned champ, we share the blood, sweat, and sacrifice that defines this sport. We give a mic to the warriors and a platform to the passion. This isn't just boxing talk. This is culture. This is community. This is Philly Fight World. And always remember, it's not about how hard you can hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and get back up. That's what boxing teaches us. That's what life demands of us. And that's exactly what we're about. Philly Fight World, where the gloves never drop and the stories never stop. Welcome to Philly Fight World. There's fight news, there's fight analysis. You're on Philly Fight World with none other than Blake and Sooly. Gonna talk boxing. You see the title, you see the name. Sooly and Blake talk boxing. We got Jake Paul continuing to bring women's boxing up. We'll get to that last after we talk about Boots and his new fight coming up at Hearns and all the talk with Norman. I mean, like as we always say, there's always news going on, and any kind of news is good news.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We're here once again. Today, just news. As you spoke about, breaking news. Our guy Boots Ennis finally got his fight. Breaking news. A lot of talk over the last few weeks.
Days.
Who he was going to fight, when he was going to fight.
Yeah.
It's a lot of speculations, names getting thrown around, and we have one. We finally had a name. We finally know where it's going to be at. We finally know when it's going to be. And hey man, we all here for it. Usama Lima. Usama Lima, I think that's how you pronounce it.
Yeah, break it down for him while I try to bring something up while you're talking to it to put something in
perspective. Yeah. Believe he's 14-1. 14-1. He has a title, IBO junior middleweight title. And I think that's key talking about this particular subject right now is this particular fight is junior middleweight. And it's going to be for the WBA. WBA fight, junior middleweight. Lima is now ranked number 10 in the WBA. Tough fighter. I mean, I watch of course, when the name first dropped, most people didn't recognize the name. Of course, what I try to do is go on YouTube, find some fights of the guy. Found a couple fights. One in particular, strong guy. Straight ahead fighter. Looks, junior middleweight. He looks big in size. Should be a good fight, style wise. Coming right forward. If you ask me, of course, I'm going to go with Boots to win this fight. I think the census everyone would probably pick Boots to win this. But I think it's a good fight for him. Gets his feet a little wet in this division. Sets him up for a bigger fight after this fight. Looking at the WBA right now, Terrence Crawford has the WBA, like I said, junior middleweight title. Of course, he has to fight with Canelo. And of course, once he fights Canelo, that belt will be, pretty much vacant. And then you'll see a shift in the rankings. And so if the shift happens, I'm sure, because right now the WBA have Boots ranked at number 2, behind Abbas Barrel. Again, another name that's not a household name. But then again, he's ranked number 1 in the WBA, and I think, you know, looking on social media, of course, and fans, they have their say, things that they want to say, and they have their opinions on things, I should say. They have their opinions. And, you know, uh, of course, they look at the name and they don't like particularly the name. And just to
Mm-hmm.
be honest, like I said, before today, where it was named officially, Usman Lima, his name wasn't really a known name. But if
Mm-hmm.
you look across that junior middleweight division, I mean, you're not going to get too many known names in that division. I mean, you go up and down the sanctions, the IBF, you go up and down the WBA, WBC, you see a few names out there that you recognize, but, you know, pick any one of them top tens. I mean, you don't really have no big names like that. And so, me personally, I think it's a good move. I think it's a good move. Lima, believe he has the IBO championship belt.
Mm-hmm.
You get the win. Now you can say you're a 2 division champion. Once, of course, in the welterweight. Next, of course, right now in the junior middleweight. And now it sets you up for a big fight. And when I say a big fight, a bigger name, and
Right.
maybe for something, for a belt. And as we spoke to Boots a couple months ago, right before his fight with Stanionis, he said he said he wants these fights. He want to win the belts. He want to win, make these legendary fights. And so this puts him in position to do so. And so if you look at his social media page today, he announced the fight himself. He posted it, and I think what they say, the poster, and I guess the name for this fight is chess, not checkers. And so if you want to look into that, hey, Boots is playing chess right now. And I think his team is being strategic. And I think that's the way to go. You just don't want to jump out there and put yourself, you know, straight moving up to another division. You don't want to put yourself out there in a big fight like that. You want to see what you got first, and you want to get your get your feet wet. And I think this is a fight to do it. I think this is a fight to do it. I'm not mad at it. He's bringing this fight back to Philadelphia. It's again at the Wells Fargo. His last 2 fights did well there. He sold tickets. And so I'm pretty sure he'll sell tickets for this fight. And we'll wait and see. Rumor has it next fight will be against Virgil Ortiz, which everybody, I think, will love to see. But we'll see. This puts him in a position to do so. Boots wanted that fight earlier this year, a couple months ago.
Yep.
And Virgil wasn't ready. Virgil team, he had surgery. He wasn't ready. So, you can't be mad at him, man. So I'm looking forward to it. October 11th. I'm looking forward.
No, definitely. Nobody has more insight on the Boots camp than you, so I know I kind of just let you do your thing with that because I know you know those guys in and out. We both know Aaron. We all know, like I said, you're very familiar with that camp, and we talk a lot, off camera, off record, and stuff like that about what's going on between social media, people trying to hype certain fights up, other networks doing stuff like that, and like I said, lots transpired for all this to happen. But what we do know for sure, and like I said, you and I both were there in front of Boots when he talked about it. When I asked him, what did he want? He wants the belt. So he kind of didn't have a chance to seal up all the belts in 147. So now you're going to try to do it now in 154, and he takes this Lima fight. Like I said, people may not be happy about it, but Lima has a fight. I mean, Lima has a belt, and that's what he wants. He wants to come in and get a belt right away, and then come in, keep working at it. So you saw I posted up there, like Sooly said, 14-1. But what I don't know if you guys saw it, his last 6 fights were all fighters that were undefeated, 19-0, 17, 16, 15-0. They were all last Lima's last 6 fights. They're all undefeated fighters. Boots will be the next one on there. Undefeated fighter Boots is 34 wins, right? 34 or something like that.
Yep.
And coming in with that. And it's going to be right in his home of Philadelphia, Wachovia Center. Wells Fargo, right? Yeah, Wells Fargo Center, right? That's what the stadium is now, right? Yeah. That's going to be right down there. So, we're going to try our best to get there. That's in Sooly's, backyard. We're going to get out there and check that fight out. Got fights coming up all around. But this is one in particular. Everybody was waiting to see what Boots was going to happen. They talked about Norman and him being the fight, but obviously Norman's got that deal with Haney going on. Like I said, just a lot of good stuff happening in boxing right now.
Yeah. And this puts him, like I was saying, the WBA, this is going to be a WBA sanctioned fight. This puts him right in position. Like Terrence Crawford is the champion in that division right now, and once Crawford fights Canelo, the day that fights, that belt is there, and that puts Boots right in line to fight for that major belt, the WBA junior welterweight. So, hey, that's strategic, and I mean, what more could you ask? At that time, we plan on. I mean, I guess we could assume that whoever he fights for that vacant belt, we can look forward to that, and we can say he'll win, and that puts him in what a 2-division champion right there.
Yeah, yep.
And so it'll be a champion in a welterweight. It'll be champion in a junior middleweight, and then he could pick from there on. I mean, he can move where he wants to go. If he wants to fight Ortiz, do it. You know what I'm saying? That puts him in a good position. Whereas though, strategically, he wants to go down as one of the best. Hey, you get that junior middleweight title, you move up, you get the middleweight title, and then you'll be a 3-time three weight division champion. So, it's chess, not checkers. It's definitely chess, not checkers, and this puts him in a position to do so. Would love to see him fight Ortiz right now? Of course. I think everybody would have loved to see that fight against Ortiz right now.
Yep.
But looking at the situation, like I said, the team offered Ortiz the fight. And Ortiz was, he was injured at the particular time. So you can't be mad at Boots. He wanted the fight. Eddie Hearn, he definitely said that they offered it to him. Ortiz the fight. He wouldn't be ready. They move on. And, it was the big talk, and lately we had the big talk about who was going to, fight Boots. And, you go on social media and you've seen a lot of names. Josh Kelly, I believe, was offered the fight.
I think that was the first name that came out. Yeah.
That was the first name that we heard that came out. And
Josh Kelly had his own method. He wanted to fight the new kid, Serrano's little brother.
Xander. Zayas.
He got his own objective. He said, "Wasn't Boots. He wanted to go after that one."
Right. And smart man. And so the fight was offered to a number of fighters, and a number of fighters didn't want it. You know what I mean? And we heard Rashidi Ellis. Money was the issue. He was offered money. He didn't like the money. He was offered more money. He didn't like the money. They moved on, and they found a guy who would want to fight. So, hey man, we got to fight. We got Boots back in the ring, second time this year.
Yep.
And this will be in, like I said, again in Philly. You know, hey, October 11th. If you're not busy and you're a fighting fan, if you live in the area, come to see a good fight. You know what I mean? And I think it's going to be a good fight. Who's going to win? Who do I predict is going to win? I think Boots is going to win, of course. But the guy's not a walkthrough. The guy looks tough. He comes to fight. I mean, he's not. He looks like he's not going to run. So, I mean, we'll
No
see
runner.
when he get into the ring. But he looks like a fighter, and we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, looking forward to it. I mean, Sooly, of course, always going to try to get those local ones, try to get in attendance and check that out, get lots of shots, try to get as much interview and content as we can, as we always do. We always traveling around. But yeah, like I said, Boots is, that's Philly. That's Sooly's close buddies down there in that camp, the dungeon, and all those guys. It'll be nice to see all of them again, especially now we got a camp started and we got target in sight and new goals, new expectations now with a new division. So it's a new challenge for everybody in that camp. And from what I know from you and what I know from meeting those guys that you've introduced me to out there, I expect nothing less than what I've seen already from those guys. They're going to keep working to achieve what they set out to do, and that's to keep building the legacy.
Yep. But then, like I said again, that WBA right now, that top 10. I mean, you could criticize the name all you want, but if you go through that top 10, there's not a lot of household names in there. Like I said,
we went through that the other day, didn't we? When we were on the phone or something.
Yeah,
I think we went through that the other day.
Pavel Solison, Jesus Ramos. Here's a name.
That's name.
Magma, Kamolian, Madrimov.
Yeah.
People know him because, of course, he lost to Crawford. Isaac Lucero. I mean, it's like, come on now. People criticized and wanted him to move up and fight someone.
Now he's up.
The man's moved up, and now it's always good. You're gonna have haters who
Goalpost always moves.
Yeah, exactly. You're gonna have haters that just want to hate, but then you know what I mean. If you look at it realistically, hey man, I mean strategically, he's doing what he's supposed to do. So he's moved up. He's going to try to win belts in his division. In the junior middleweight, like I said, you got to be, specifically saying junior middleweight, and then we'll see what goes on from there. But like I said, within a year and a half, less than 2 years, this man could be a 3-time division champion.
Very quickly,
and very quick, and that's saying something. So, we'll see. Like I said, we got good fights, and I'm hey man, I'm happy to go watch this fight. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to it.
See what happens, man.
Definitely looking forward
to it. Good time, though. Like I said, it's a good time.
First part, like I said, first part of that is done. It's like you said, you know who, you know when, and you know where. Who, what, when, where, why, how, all that. All that's answered.
That's it.
Now we're here.
That's it. We're here now. That's it. Yep.
Now,
So you can put on the chit chat away. We know we got to fight. We know who is going to be. So we're just ready for it now. The great thing, if you're a boxing fan, you should love it because we got fights. And so, I'm here for it, man.
So
definitely here for it.
And what do you know about who's going to be on the undercard today? You know anything about that or anything you want to speak on about that?
Well, we should have we'll wait till the card fills out. But if it's like the last card with the Boots fight, you got to throw some local fighters on there. And so we know the last card that was in Philly, the last Boots card, you had 2 fighters that was on there, local talent. And that was Tybert Smalls. And the other one was Look at the names right now. Our buddy, Dennis. DJ, Dennis Thompson. So those two were on the undercards of the last fight. Um, Hopefully they'll get fights on this particular card. I don't see why not. Eddie Hearn seems to like both of them. They both did well on the last card. So I'm looking as I'm hopefully we'll see them on this card. And if it's Eddie Hearn, like I said, he usually have some pretty good cards, local cards in the city, and local cards, United States period. So we'll have some fighters on there. I'm sure it'll be a good card. Last card was a great card. So we'll see this time around. I'm looking forward to it, man. I'm looking forward to it. And both fighters, Tamira Smalls and Dennis Thompson, they're both out of the Bozy dungeon. So they're both in camp. And so, it'll be good. It'll be a good homecoming. It'll be a good homecoming for the city. So, I'm sure they'll do well. Ticket sales will do well. Last two fights here did very well. I don't see any change in that. So looking forward to it, man. Looking forward to it.
No, definitely that. Like I said, we'll just wait and see what else comes out. We'll see. Obviously we'll always look on social media, seeing what new stuff is coming out, because there's always something about news or how people feel about it, whatever. It's always happening. Big shit out to Mill City, Fight Hype, all those guys. Those guys, man, they go hard all the time. I don't know how they got the time to do some of that stuff. Big shout out to them for always, putting content out. But wait and see.
Shout out to Mill. Yeah, shout out to Mill City. You got a good show.
There's always something.
Like Mill try to make that Rashidi Ellis.
You saw that? Yeah.
Fight. He tried to make that one, but
had Norman on there.
Everybody on there. They all chimed in on that one, man. It was funny seeing all that happen. Happen within a few days and everything. But hey, man, you gotta let the promoters do their job. And us on this side, we got to do our job. So we got to report on it. So I mean, it was, it is what it is, man. So, but yeah, I mean, and going back to that fight, it looks to be a WBA super welterweight eliminator fight, is what they're calling. So it's a WBA eliminator fight. So it's in line to set you up for the WBA super welterweight title. And that title right now, and like I said earlier, that title is held by Terrence Crawford. Come September, once he fights Canelo, that belt will be vacant. Hey, if the fans want to, they want to call out anyone, call out Terrence Crawford. Let's make that fight. You know what I'm saying? If you want to criticize someone, criticize, and I'm not criticizing Terrence Crawford myself, but call out the big guys. You know what I mean? Call out the people with the belts, and the people with the belts is, one of them is Terrence Crawford. So if you want to do that, but you can't knock boots for that. He's in a position to win a belt, and he's right there for it. So he'll we look for him to fight in October. He gets the win. He'll grab a piece of that IBO belt that Lima has, and he moves on and put him in position to the WBA belt. So, I mean, what else could you ask for? Then he'll be a two-time weight champion, so a two-weight division champion. So, I mean, it is what it is. It is what it is. I'm looking forward to it.
Same here.
I'm looking forward to it.
Like I said, there's always more. It's chess. It ain't chess. It's checkers, baby.
It ain't checkers. It's chess.
Oh, it's checkers. Chess.
Yeah. It's definitely chess. So they say checkmate right there. See what you do now.
Checkmate. Set them up. So
Yep.
all you have to do is win, put you right in the position. Like I said,
That's
we said
all
it
you
before.
have to do is win, man. All you have to do is win, and block off the social media talk. Do your job. Keep winning. That's all you got to do. So we'll see what happens, man.
Definitely that.
Sure. Yeah, and I'm sure the city gonna be excited for that one
Oh,
right there.
always.
Yeah, man. Coming
It's
off
big.
the Eagles win, coming off an Eagles Super Bowl, and now you got another champion in the city. You know what I'm saying? So good for the city. Good for the city. Good for boxing, really. Um, Philly has always been a mecca in boxing, um, and so it continues. It continues,
It
man.
continues on. The journey goes on. The stories continue.
Yes, sir.
There's always
Yes,
more.
sir.
But wait, there's more.
It's always happening. And
Yes,
like I said,
sir.
and you talk about men's. Like I said, we talk about females too. Like I said, Jake continues to build. Non-Philly related, but Jake continues to build women's boxing, signing more female. He's becoming like the MVP. Is becoming like the freaking cartel of women's boxing.
Yeah, women's
Just
boxing. Yeah.
He's just lining up stables, stables and stables of fighters. It's just pretty soon.
Yeah.
If you want to watch any fight, he's just gonna have to go through him and his
It's
team.
gonna have to go through him, man. And that's a smart business move right there, man. It's like you play Monopoly.
Right. They said that you got all the, what was it, the railroads. You got all the railroads. What was that?
Railroad, everything. Yeah. Boardwalk, everything.
Boardwalk
you know what I'm saying?
Place, Boardwalk
Park Place, Atlantic Ave, Pacific Ave.
Pacific
You got that whole side. You got the whole side in the corner going around, man. So you roll them dice. You got to land right on him, man. You want a big fight? It's going to be his fighter. So, smart move. Smart move. He's becoming a monopoly. He's monopolizing the women's boxing. But hey, I mean, what can you do? If other promoters, they got to catch up now. They have to catch up. So, he's seen a niche there. I think he's seen it probably about 3-4 years ago. Went down to the WBA.
You were there, weren't you?
They backed him. Yeah, I was there. And he at that conference, at the WBA conference, he spoke about women's boxing, and everything he spoke about, he's doing it now. And so he's moving, man. He's moving, and within 3 years, I mean, he's got a stable of women boxers, talented boxers. So I mean, kudos to him, man, because he's doing his thing, and he's making exciting women boxing cards. You know what I mean? So and he's got the fighters to do so. So kudos to him, man. Yeah, and it just keeps getting bigger. Like you said, if you look down, you see the picture right there.
Yeah, I'm gonna go into a little bit of them. I'm not gonna sit up here in front like we all know about all. I mean, over time, we'll learn about them, but the significance about this is what I'm reading right here on my phone. Is a lot of these guys are overseas. So what he's done now is you've tapped into the overseas girls. I mean, he already has, like Savannah Marshall and stuff like that. You're just adding to the plethora of fighters. You got this Ebony Bridges. Looks like the UK, former IBF female bantam world champion. You got Jasmine, my new favorite, one of them, Jasmine Animal Ortega out of Tampa, right out of here, the area, right out of Tampa. She's the current WA super flyweight world champion, undefeated, 13-0, with 1 tie and 6 knockouts. Became Tampa's first homegrown world boxing champion in March 2025. Here we go.
You gotta get that ass here, man.
That's what I said. I got another favorite dad. You know what I'm saying? This is why it's fun. You have favorites. You follow stories. This is part of the game. Shannon Court. was it Courtney? I guess that's just pronounced. Former WA Bantam World Champion from the UK. Desley Robinson, Unified IBF and WO Middleweight World Champion from Australia. Again, that's why I said earlier, getting all these overseas and European fighters now. He's loaded American fighters. Now I'm loading the Europe and cross world fighters. Jessica Neri Plata, former WBA, WBC junior flyweight champion from Mexico. You know, you always got to have the Mexican fighters. And, of course, they got tons of fights. She brings in a whopping 30-2 record. It says other notable members. Ellie Scottney, I think she's kind of getting known already. Unified Super Bantamweight IBF WBO ring champion. Chantel Cameron, former undisputed super lightweight WBC interim champ, and of course, you know, Savannah Marshall and all the other girls that are there.
Right.
What is this? Shari Brown L. She joined there too, didn't she? She did too. Okay. So yeah, this just keeps growing, man. Keeps growing. And like you earlier, you talked about this years ago, man. Like a couple of years ago, you know, when you were talking about him coming down there and people gave Jake and the team a cold shoulder. I don't want to say the names of who said that. They were like, what is he doing here? You know, things like that in nature. Now, here they are. They're signed under him. I believe that person that said that they're signed under him now and stuff like that. So, you know.
Well, I think everyone coming into it, no one really took Jake Paul seriously. You know, me myself included.
Everybody did. Let's just be honest here. Nobody did. Let's keep it 100. Nobody did.
Yeah, no one did. And so, you know, he spoke about his vision, and you know, we of course the majority of us knew Jake Paul by him being on YouTube, him and his brother, you know, doing comedic things on their channel and getting well known for it. And so him coming into fighting, you know, and boxing, and you know, of course, him being a fighter himself coming in, you know, the early Jake Paul fights, no one really took him seriously. Who did he fight from the NBA?
Nate Robinson.
Nate Robinson. You know what I mean? Especially that, you know, everybody looked at that like it was, you know, celebrity fighting.
You know what I thought that was at first? I don't know if you remember the old Celebrity Deathmatch cartoon that came out. That's what it reminded me of. Yeah.
And that's what it remind, you know, but looking at that fight and then looking now where he is, you see the progression.
Well, he had to get out of that light. He had to get out of that light, that comedic fights to now, like, you trying to really be a fighter. Like, he's got to. I think it's a stage for Jake. I think he had to get out. He's the YouTuber kid. Now he's the joke fight guy. Now he's trying to move into he's an actual boxer now. Like, he's got to keep changing his identity, and that's fine. He's doing that.
Right. And so now you have him as a fighter, and now you have him as a fighter / promoter.
Yeah.
And the promotion side of what he's doing has surpassed him as a fighter. Even though he's making waves fighting, the promotion side, the business side of it, I mean, he's found a niche and he's doing it well. And so, hey man, hats off to him, because I don't think anyone's seen this coming. And he's seen a opening and he ran with it. You know what I mean? And he continues to strive and continues to push this, you know, model of female boxing, and it's good. You know what I mean? It's not just, you know, something that's just there that it's not. It's good. You have good fighters. It's good entertainment. Every Jake Paul card with women has been a great. It has been a great spectacle. Has been a great event. Whatever you want to call it, it's been good. Go even just past last month, a couple weeks ago, the New York card. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, hey man, he's doing his thing. Nobody can knock him for you. I mean, you can talk about how you don't like him as a fighter, how you don't think he's fighting competition, whatever the case is. But the one thing you can't knock him on is what he's done for women's boxing. Can't knock him
Facts.
on that. And you just look up and down his, the roster that he has, man. Amanda, Shadeja, Alicia, um,
Shit, Savannah.
I mean, you go down it. I mean, you go up and down the card, and then with these new ones that you mentioned a few minutes ago,
Mm-hmm.
it just keeps going. It keeps going. It keeps going. And guess what? That's fights. That's fights that he can make. That fights that he can, get the public to get behind these women and put their faces out there. And now,
So we got that AOL again. But yeah, like I said, he's saying the same thing that I've noted. He's putting it out there. He's getting these girls on the biggest stages. It's not like no little stage. He's putting them on some big stages, man. And they're selling out, man. The promotions are good. You're on Netflix. You got fights everywhere, man. You got fights on Prime. You got fights everywhere now. And you have that ability now to get. You see, oh, you back. All right, kind of froze for a minute. If you want to finish what you were saying, go ahead.
But echoing what you were saying, you know what I'm saying? Like he's put these women in position where he's making great fights for them. And it's entertaining, and it's great for the sport. It's great for the sports, and it's for the sport, and they're talented. You know what I'm saying? And they're great cards. They're great cards, man. So hey, man, I'm with it.
And we're here for it.
I'm with it.
As we said, the gloves don't stop, the gloves don't drop, and the stories never stop. Philly fight, bro. That's how it goes, man. I keep coming. Any final things before we get out of here?
Looking forward to these fights. I mean, we're slowly getting there to the big fight, which is the Crawford Canelo fight. You know what I mean? So we're getting there.
Well, we're waiting.
Yeah, and everybody is, man. So it's getting there slowly but surely. You starting to hear more of the chatter. People are talking about it. The buzz is getting louder and louder, and it's going to be a great event. It's going to be a great. I mean, you got two of the biggest names in boxing right now. We getting them. I would say a little past their prime. But it's a great fight. It's a great fight.
A great fight.
Yeah. You talk about the stories. You got the stories. You got Canelo. We all know Canelo. You got Crawford, who's really fighting for a spot in history. And I don't want to use the word redemption, because he's not. His name is on the line. You know what I mean? You talk about a fighter who's kind of been cast out for years by the mainstream promotion and big fights.
This gives his mouth a lot of it, kind of like some other fighters, and they don't like that. But that's
He's been his own man every step of the way, and now he steps into that big fight that I'm sure that he's always wanted. His career always wanted to prove. I mean, he did it once with Spence. People doubted him with that Spence fight. He came.
I didn't.
He won. And if people might not have gave him his respect for that one, but definitely if he goes up in weight and if he beats Canelo, you cannot say anything. You could just hush, like you said, hush. You could hush all the talk and the chatter up. And I would love for him to win and just ride off to the sunset. And he could say he did it his way. And you can't deny him that, man. So looking forward to this big one, man. Like I said, it's probably less than a month now. Probably little more than a month
down.
now. So
It's ticking
yeah,
down.
so it's here. And so, but yeah, I mean, unfortunately, we don't have the fight that I was excited for that led up to it, which would have been that Roach Tank
Oh
fight.
yes, yes.
You know what I
Yeah, that'd have been the
mean?
warm up.
That
That'd
rematch.
held you over. That would have been like before you get your big steak dinner, you get that salad
Yeah,
right before it.
appetizer. Yeah.
That was the salad
Oh
before.
yeah.
Not to say that those guys are by any means minor or anything.
Listen.
I'm just using it as a metaphor. I'm just saying that would have been that would have been the salad before the big meal that held you over.
That'd have been like that. I don't know how I'm gonna eat my meal with this. You know what I mean? But it would have been it would have been definitely great to see that fight, man. Unfortunately, we're not going to get it right now.
Not now.
But you know, but hey, it won't be too long until we get the big one. So we just gotta be a little bit more patient, and I'm looking forward to that one. And we'll see, man. But like I said, Crawford, he wins this one. I don't want to see no more of him, man. I want to see him hold that belt, that Ring Magazine belt,
Right.
and I want to see him go off into the sunset and do whatever he likes to do, man. But yeah, this is it. This is the big one. Definitely the biggest fight we've had, and the last probably since Crawford Spence.
Yeah.
And so, yeah,
you were
looking forward to this one.
You were at that fight, I believe, right?
Yeah. We've seen that fight live. The atmosphere was exciting, the buzz, and it wasn't too much of a fight after that first bell rung, but and I listen.
Was it as bad as the Fundora Tim Zoo fight? The second one, was it as bad as that? As far as the energy and everything.
Yeah. That's a good question. No, the energy. No. I've never been to a sporting event that was the energy wise. That was like tops. You know what I'm saying? Like I've been to a few sporting events that was like energy wise. It was that was. Hey, I went to that last year. I went to that. Not last year. The year before. That Buccaneers Eagles game in Tampa, the playoff game where Tampa beat them. That energy in Tampa was buzzy. You know what I'm saying? That was like a big game, home game for the Buccaneers, of course, and because I think it was in prime time too. It was in the eve. It was at night. I think it started like 8, something like that, 8 o'clock. So they had the cameras there. The NFL they do a great job of getting playoff games, excited. The fireworks and everything. But I'm gonna tell you, and with the crowd too. You talk about a football game. You're talking 40, 50, 60,000 people in a particular arena. So it was different in a case, and in sense. But that Crawford Spence fight was definitely the biggest sporting event buzz wise I was in. But yeah, it was. I mean, everybody when that first bell rung,
it was on.
I mean, everybody was just like, zoned in right in on that ring, man. And really, even before the first bell rung, the walk-ins, Crawford coming in with Eminem, and I think that fight was so much evenly, you had people, you evenly matched up and evenly crowd-wise. You had people who loved Crawford. And I think you have more Spence fans there, I believe, than it was Crawford. And man, but as we know, as soon as that bell rang, it wasn't much of a fight. But it was a beatdown. It was definitely a beatdown. And like I said, that Fundora Tim Zoo fight was a beatdown too. But Spence, I mean, he got beat down, man. And I don't know if it was, but voluntarily or what have you, but we haven't seen him since. So, that tells you something right there. But I'm looking forward to this one.
The psyche, man, the battle of the mind is a real thing, and I think that's what a lot of has to do with it. I don't know. He hasn't really spoken on it, but I'm sure at some point when he's ready, he'll talk about it, and we'll talk about it after that. Mine's not gonna be as long as yours. The outro. I just want to say, this has always been fun covering boxing with you, and we try to figure this thing out. We try to do the best that we can here, working out, coming to see these fights and all this stuff. And some of these, like you take personal to you, like with Boots, you got to watch a lot of these guys come from amateurs and stuff. So it's fun and exciting for you to get to watch all this come into fruition, to see people succeed, to see people achieve the goals that they want. And it's the same thing like me with like the women's side. I remember, I wish I could find it. I remember talking about professional women's sports and things like that and stuff like when it originally started with the soccer team. And how these girls were underpaid, undervalued. I mean, you talked about it, but you didn't really talk about it. Nobody really cared about them getting paid the dues that they were due. Like, especially the women's soccer team at that time was winning and the men's weren't. And they basically were told that it's a privilege to be in the position and they shouldn't ask for more money. I guess I wish I had that. And then years go by. I didn't know Clarissa was a part of that either, but time flies by, and then now these girls are getting their money. You're getting to watch women's boxing. You see WNBA moving up. They're still trying to make more money and all that, getting to watch this. So, when I see all this, you feel attached to it, because I remember talking about it. People say it was a waste of time talking about, women's sports and stuff like that. And it wasn't important and stuff, and then you get to see it all come into fruition now. So it's exciting to watch these girls and men, because I grew up with female friends that were athletes, and they don't want to see a pursuit. There wasn't nothing more for them after college, for them, because there wasn't no money in that. They had to get, I guess, real jobs, that's what you want to call it, or other jobs or stuff like that. Now these girls have other options. So it's nice to see that these girls and guys are getting the things that they worked for, and there's something for them now, and there's a world out there that's trying to help them do that. There's media department, there's people out there like Jake and like other promoters and stuff like that trying to build that. So it's nice seeing that and being able to talk about all that, watching where it came from.
There you go. There you go, man. Hey, man, you said a lot right there, man.
Yeah.
And that's it. That's where it is, man. I agree 100%. I agree 100%. I think that sums it all up.
Yeah, that sums it all up. And we'll end this as we always do. And as hard as you can hit, it's as hard as you can get hit. I'm Blake Anthony. This is Sooly. We'll see y'all next time.
This is Sammy the Heat Worthington, and you're watching Philly Fight World.